if you are already in the field or you are planning to get in the field, the number one question I get from new brokers is, how do you get conversations with business owners who want to sell? So it's prospecting, it's marketing. So I want to share just a little bit about that and some tactics and some observations. What I hear myself saying the most on this topic is that everything works a little bit and nothing works consistently all the time. So you kind of have to do a little bit of everything, right? And you can't go all in on one thing, but it's not guaranteed to work. So brand new business intermediaries, especially in the Main Street market, there is a lot of push for drop cards, letters on doors. And I will say I've done this and it does work. It will get the phone ringing. It will get conversations with business owners that are often distressed, and the letter on the door is kind of a symbol for them that it was time to take action. They may not have done a lot of planning. They just found themselves in a situation, and your letter was there to help them. So it's a great way to get some deals done early, to get some conversations going with business owners that need the assistance of a business intermediary. So drop cards they're kind of a bad thing for our industry because it's not the most professional thing. There are professional ways to do it, but to me, it's kind of like a confidential cold call. The number one thing that's different with business brokerage than any other industry is the fact that everything's confidential. We have to be very respectful of business owners' businesses. They have employees. They don't want their employees to know. They don't want their customers to know that they're considering the sale of their business. It could hurt their business. So walking in the door and saying, do you want to sell your business? If they do, they won't tell you because it's dangerous for them. So we have to be respectful to the business owners because of the confidential nature of our business. Sometimes I joke, we're like divorce attorneys, right? People may need our services, but they don't want to talk about it. So that's where drop cards are kind of like the confidential cold call for business intermediaries. Another thing that works, that doesn't work well, but it does start the conversation, is telemarketing. So you can have people call business owners and just ask them, hey, have you considered the sale of your business? Have you looked at getting a valuation? I've done a lot of this as well. Challenge with this type of solution is that unless you're doing the calling, which takes a lot of time, a lot of owners will just say whatever they need to get the caller off the phone. So you're going to be following up with a lot of business owners that don't want you to call them. That will come through as so-and-so wants you to call about selling their business. And then they'll kind of dodge you. And when you do get them on the phone, they'll be like, no. Or you caught them on a bad day, and the next day you catch up with them and they're having a great day, and the demand is gone. So telemarketing is tried and true, and it does work. Another one is direct mail, mailing letters to business owners. If you do it right, and there's a whole thing about what list, who do you mail to, can get some phone calls or some email inquiries. My experience is about 1 out of 1,000. So you're going to have to mail a lot of letters. And if you follow up with owners with a phone call or have someone do that, you may get that up to 3%. 3 out of every 1,000 postcards or letters that you send, you'll get a response. You take it a step farther, besides postcards, if you handwrite or you write and sign and customize letters and fold them and put them in envelopes and put the stamp on. And this is borrowed from real estate. If you take the time to personalize it, the rates will go up. Again, takes more time to do that. I've done that as well. And then you get into the online pieces, pay-per-click marketing. People, because the pay-per-click does work pretty well, because people are looking to sell their business confidentially, they're going to Google, hey, who's a business broker in my market? You can do this yourself, but I would also encourage you to hire a professional, because there's a lot of ways that you can do it wrong. Primarily, you can spend a lot of money with Google and then get people wanting to buy businesses. And historically, we focus on seller representation. So if you're giving Google money to find sellers and if Google's sending you buyers and you don't have anything to sell yet, it can be disheartening, right? So work with someone that understands negative keywords, and you have to really fine tune it and stay on top of it. You'll find you'll get a lot of real estate leads there as well. People want to sell real estate and so forth, or shop for a business. And the only other notion on this topic of Google is that you know, I have found that it works pretty well, and then it kind of tapers off. So you have to kind of always be changing it. Just don't think of it's a set it or forget it. It's a refining process, and it changes over time. So sometimes it works better than others, but count on spending a lot of money with Google, and then on somebody to manage that campaign. Then there is social media. I do a lot of social media. To me, this is kind of just staying on the top of the funnel. People are going on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube, which is, I love YouTube, as you can tell. And they're browsing for content. And if you can pop up into their feed, you may educate them about what they're doing. They're probably not searching on social media to find out how to sell their business. They're probably going to Google for that. But you can promote content. You can do it organically to get in front of them with posts and videos and blogs and things of that nature on social. There are a number of ways to do this, both for yourself and with an agency. You notice it always comes back to investing in the business. So that's a little bit about social media. And then there is face-to-face networking. And I do spend a lot of time meeting with other advisors of business owners and just let them know what we do. This is one of my favorite things. And again, it does take time. But what I want to do is connect with business owners that have advisors that have kind of put some thought into this. And they've gotten to a stage where they've asked their advisors, like, I do want to sell my business. And maybe they've done some tax planning or some financial planning. And they're at that stage where they're looking for the right person to shepherd them down this process, to run a process for them to sell their business confidentially. I have found the networking that I've done that has paired me up with other advisors in the deal. Again, this is the bankers that are setting up the loan that these owners started 20 years ago, and now they're finishing that loan, or the CPAs that have done their taxes for a long time, or the financial advisors. Typically, those financial advisors are a little bit older because their clients have been with them for some time, and bookkeepers and the like. It could be credit card processors, anybody who's in the business owner's advisory team. Coaches, business coaches are great. These are great partners to form relationships with. And there are many, many different types of networking events. There's the seat-specific networking events. There are open community type, like chamber type networking events. And there's service-based, like think Rotary or Civitan Club. There's no shortage of places to connect and network, to meet other business owners, business advisors. And it is the long game, but that is one of my favorites. And last but not least, I do have an advertising background, and there's a term called Omnichannel, which kind of harkens back to what I was talking about at the beginning, which is you got to do a lot of everything, right? So think about that business owner. They're thinking about selling. Maybe they get your postcard, they're like, okay, now I know what a business broker is. They kind of want to sell, but they're having a good day. And then a telemarketer calls them, they hear your name again. It's not the right day. Then maybe they see an advertisement on social media, or they hear you on the radio. And then they finally search on Google, and you come up either organically or through a paid ad. Now they're like, I feel like I know this guy or this woman. She's popping up in my feed. I have some familiarity with her. Maybe I met her at a networking event and she seemed to know what she was talking about. That's when you get the call. Or even better, their advisor recommends them and they say, yeah, I've got their postcard on my desk. It's in the top drawer. So this is where it starts to work. And there's a ton of other ways to market. I mentioned radio and TV. You could go on and on and on. Ultimately, you got to find something that works for you. I know that's generic advice, but I'll leave you with this. A very smart marketing person told me at the very beginning of my career, he's like, just pick something and make it kind of your marquee marketing vehicle. Could be a podcast, could be a TV show, could be radio, could be anything, but pick one thing and make it, just keep investing in that one thing. And then when you do we didn't talk about email marketing, but when you do your regular content, you got to kind of highlight that content piece that you're creating. And this YouTube channel that I do has kind of become that for me inadvertently. But you can imagine that when I do my emails to clients and I want to add value, I'm taking a piece of content from this channel and I'm putting it in front of them. It's just something free that I'm giving you, Mr. Business Owner. Maybe you're not ready to hire me, but I want to give you this piece of content. So there's a content marketing play that you can do in many different ways. Creating your own events is another way of doing that as well. Event marketing is another one I didn't get to. Well, that's all for today. This is Neal Isaacs, the Raleigh business broker. I run a business brokerage firm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I love to help business intermediaries. A lot of people have helped me, and I've got a lot to learn, but I've learned a lot to get to this point. So if I can share knowledge with you, just give me a call. My cell number is 919-621-1248. Just text me or call me, or look me up on LinkedIn. That's the easiest way to find me, Neal Isaacs on LinkedIn. You'll see this face. You know you're in the right place. All right, until next time, thanks for watching. Let me know what you want to learn about regarding business brokerage career stuff. Put it in the comments. We'll keep it going. Have a great day.